Hey guys, it's Shelby, otherwise known as Shelbizleee here on YouTube, and welcome to another episode in this series that I'm doing called What I Talked Myself Out of Buying. So the reason I decided to make this video is because, or this series I should say, is because on my channel I like to focus on how to help people get from the typical average lifestyle that they might be living into one that's more eco-friendly. You guys might be asking, what does buying things or minimalism have to do with being eco-friendly? Well, I'll tell you. If you guys remember from like elementary school when we learned about the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, and recycle, there are a few more now where we talk about refusing and rotting and things like that. But basically what that means is reduce comes first, which means reduce what you produce, what you buy, that sort of thing, because so many inputs go into everything you buy. For instance, like the shirt I'm wearing right now, I bought it secondhand, but to create it the first time took a lot of water for the cotton that went into it. It took a lot of energy to ship the materials all around the world. It takes a lot of resources to make just about anything. And so the less you can buy, the smaller your environmental footprint will be. And so I really like to encourage buying less, because my actual awakening in the environmental movement was when I watched The Story of Stuff. I thought I was an environmentalist before. I actually was going to school for environmental science and had no idea about any of these things. And in my first environmental science class, my professor showed us this on the first week of class, I'm pretty sure. And it just put everything into perspective for me, that there was so much going on behind the scenes that I wasn't seeing, and so I wasn't taking into consideration. And then I read The Story of Stuff book, and that was it. I was officially an environmentalist, and all I wanted to do was tell everybody about it. So I'm going to link the book of The Story of Stuff in the description box so you guys can download it, watch it. I think they might have it on Audible by now, but definitely check that out. And I started telling everybody in my daily life about these things, about how I want you to stop buying things, I want you to stop consuming everything, stop doing it. But it was a little ironic and kind of like you can't take my advice back then, because I used to buy new clothes like literally every week. I was the epitome of consumerism, and my family didn't take me seriously. Well, here we are about 6 years later, and now they know I am actually as crazy as I seem. But a lot of people in my life didn't listen to me when I talked about these things, so I turned to the internet, and that's how I found you guys. So let's go ahead and get into the things that I talked myself out of buying this month. I have a few things that I want to discuss, and then I might tell you guys a few things that I did buy this month too, because as I was making this list, I was like, oh, you know, I've actually bought quite a few things this month. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so first part of the story is something that you might already know if you follow me on Instagram. If you're not following me over there, you should, because I ask you guys for feedback a lot. You guys help me out a lot, and I try to give that value back to you over there. So go follow me if you're not. But if you are, you know that I have problems with dandruff. This hair is a mess. I don't know if I have dry scalp. I don't know when it started happening. I try to like push off things that are wrong with me so that I don't have to like switch up my routines, and my dandruff is definitely one of them. As I itch my head. I know that I use a shampoo with sulfate in it because I buy the Lush shampoo bars that come package free, and I think that they've been drying out my scalp, but I don't want to switch to a shampoo bar that comes in plastic, or a shampoo that comes in plastic that I have to repurchase over and over and over. So I started asking you guys, you know, what can I do to naturally cure my dandruff? And one of the suggestions was put oils in my hair. So a few essential oils along with a carrier oil. Some people suggested coconut, some people suggested jojoba, whatever. So I went to Amazon because I actually went to like 4 different places in Austin and couldn't find jojoba oil without plastic. I really wanted to get it in glass. So I went on Amazon, I found one, it had really, really great ratings. Purchased it, put it in my cart, whatever. Which, by the way, that order, I told you guys also this on my Instagram stories, that order came completely plastic free. Watch my Amazon order video if you haven't already. But, you know, after you put your stuff in your cart, Amazon starts suggesting other things that you would be interested in. So there's like this long list of all these oils, and I am such a sucker for oils. I actually mentioned in my last video that I talked myself out of buying essential oils. This time I talked myself out of buying like vitamin E oil, vitamin C oil, castor oil, rosehip seed oil, like all these oils that just sounded like they would do amazing things for my skin and hair. But when I stopped and thought about it, I was like, do you think there's really a difference? Really a difference between grapeseed oil and like jojoba oil? I feel like there's probably not a huge difference, and they would do similar things for me in terms of like my scalp or maybe even my face if I decided to use it there. So it took me a while because I actually was like, they're only like $10, $12. I should just get them. And then when I looked at my cart, I was like, you know, are these oils really that different? Do I really need them? I don't. So I took them all out, I bought the jojoba oil, and I moved on with my day. But that's lesson 1, is think about how one thing that you have can be used for multiple purposes before you go buying like multiples of that thing. Does that make sense? I think that's a really good tip to start off this video with. Next thing I talked myself out of buying is a new wallet. So I actually use a Vera Bradley little like just fold zip. I'll insert a clip of it here. My aunt used to sell Vera Bradley, and basically she gave me one, and she keeps 2 of them. Well, she keeps one of them, I have one of them. And when I see her and she feels like I need to wash it, she will swap them out, wash it for me, and then whenever I need to do it again, she does it for me again. Now, sustainability is about, like I said, buying less and reusing. So if my wallet is still working, I shouldn't buy a new one. That's the moral of the story here. I don't need a new wallet. I just feel like this wallet doesn't match my aesthetic anymore. It feels a little young, a little less mature than I want to personally feel. And I like neutral colors. I like darker greens, blues, browns, whites, blacks. It really helps me with my anxiety actually to have a lot less color like throughout my day. And my wallet is a place that, you know, I see it all the time. It's on my keyring, so it's always there. And I've been thinking recently, like, I really want to get a new wallet, maybe like something by a sustainable vegan leather company or something like that. I don't know, but I've been thinking that I want to get one. And I just keep telling myself, you know, you don't need it, and buying one kind of goes against everything that you believe in. And I know that someday that wallet will crap out on me, right? It won't last forever. But will I be like 30 when that happens? And how long am I willing to keep this going? So that's where I am on that. I just wanted to throw that one in here because I think it's important to think beyond aesthetics if you're really worried about environmentalism. Of course, you can support sustainable companies, which I'm not against. I think is fine. But for me, I don't need to be spending money, number 1. I should have mentioned that. That's a huge part of why I'm doing this series, because Madison and I are saving up for something super exciting. And so I don't want to be spending my money on things that are not necessities, because it could negate the thing that we're working on, right? So, talked myself out of buying a wallet. That's the second thing I talked myself out of buying this month. Okay, 2 other things. One of them is a Clean Canteen stainless steel cup set. So I had some friends come over for the Memorial Day weekend, and I realized that as soon as you enter like 2 people into my home, I don't have enough cups for them. We drink out of mason jars, old pasta jars. Literally, I had 4 friends over this weekend, and one of them was drinking out of an old like tomato sauce bottle that's like this long, and it's like a skinny neck thing. It's not a good way to host, I'll say that. Of course, it works well for Madison and I for the most part, but once I had literally anybody in my house, then I just don't even have enough of the stupid little like pasta jars and stuff for them to use. And so I've been thinking about buying this set of Clean Canteen stainless steel cups for a while, not only for that reason, but also because when I want to go get like a takeout coffee or something like that, I don't have a large cup to put it in. I have my little keep cup, which is good for like hot coffees, but if I want to get a blended coffee, I can't put it in there, and the only thing I have is a mason jar, which is okay to take, but I'd rather have something that's not as heavy and not as breakable. So I've really been considering getting a set of Clean Canteen stainless steel cups, and I think that I probably will buy those, but I'm gonna put it off and put it off, hoping to find them in the thrift store. And so that's where I'm at with this purchase. I don't absolutely need it right now, but I'm really holding out so that hopefully I can find something similar in a thrift store. So if you can do that with a lot of your items, that's a great idea. Buying secondhand is the second step in reduce, reuse, and then recycle. So if you can buy something that you need, if you can hold off long enough to find it in a secondhand shop, that's a really good idea. And that's the sentiment with number 3. And I actually have a very similar sentiment with number 4, because I want a pressure cooker. I have a crock pot, I have a rice cooker, but if I could just get one pressure cooker, then I could sell or donate both of those appliances for one pressure cooker that could do like literally 10 more things for me. They're pretty expensive, so that holds me back definitely, but they're also so hard to find in a secondhand store. I've been looking since the beginning of this year, and sometimes they have rice cookers, sometimes they don't even have those, but I've never seen a fully functional Instapot in my thrift store. And I am hoping to find one. If I don't find one secondhand by the end of this year, I will go ahead and purchase a brand new one, because we will be moving into a space that will be even smaller, and I won't even have the room to choose to store the rice cooker and the crock pot and I think that a pressure cooker just is a great way to cook like almost anything. So definitely something I am on the prowl for in secondhand shops. So that's actually all the things I talked myself out of buying this month. I was going to tell you guys some of the things that I bought this month, but turns out they're not that interesting. But I will say that I have spent a little more money this month than I would like because I bought a new sewing machine, working on some things for something I want to start. I also did buy a couple things secondhand on eBay. I have this one shirt from American Eagle that I found in a boutique thrift store, and it's just a big shirt with like squirrel like sleeves. You guys have probably seen me wear it so many times. It's that black and white striped shirt that I wear literally all the time. And I started thinking to myself the other day, you know, I'd really like to have another shirt just like this. So I went on eBay and I found one and I ordered it. So I bought a few secondhand things like that. I also found a pair of overalls on another one of those like secondhand shopping apps, and those seem to be pretty in style. And so those are just a few things I've bought. I wanted you guys to know that I'm not just like not spending any money and I'm so perfect, but I do only really buy things secondhand. Haven't bought anything new this month, so that's a plus. But let's go ahead and get into my shout out of the week, and today is someone called Sustainable Sally. So Sally tagged me in something on Instagram with a new swap that she made. It's called the Wonder Bag, and I've actually heard about this recently and thought about getting one, and so now she's got me a little bit more intrigued. I'll link one below if you guys want to check it out. But basically it's a swap that she made to help her save electricity in the kitchen. So Sally's saying it helps you cook not only with heat retention so that you don't have to use as much electricity to cook your food, but it's also going to heat your house a lot less because you're able to use a lot less heat and therefore use a lot less electricity, etc. So it's saying that every purchase gives one to a family in Africa, and it's changing women's lives, which I always love companies that have that little like ethical aspect about them. And then at the end she thanks me and Emmy for being the kick in her pants to start actively sharing what I've been quietly passionate about for so long. I love that. So thank you so much, Sally, in tagging me in your posts. I really love reading your posts. Remember, if you want to be my shout out of the week next week, just tag me in some sustainable swap that you made on Instagram and I'll be talking about it on my videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you loved this video. Let me know some things that you've talked yourself out of buying this month. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye guys.